Let us pray. Dear Lord, we stand before you today celebrating our 74th Independence Day and reveling in the great things our country has achieved. We thank you for the blessings of liberty for this generation and for generations to come. We thank you for our independence, for peace, and for all those who have bravely given their lives in the defense of freedom and justice. Dear Lord, today, as we face uncertain times, revive our spirits in the face of this pandemic. Renew our faith and keep it strong. Free us from fear of the future, from anxiety of the morrow. Help us to keep calm. Breathe new life into our nation, O Lord. Watch over us in the weeks ahead. Hand of God, reach out once more. Restore your spirit in us so we may live in peace and enjoy the freedom you have bestowed upon us. Amen.
Good day, respected principal, teachers, and fellow students. August 15th is not solely about freedom. This day is a plethora of emotions. It reminds us of the pain of being enslaved, of the strength in unity. It defines sacrifice. It gives us an example how wars can be won with non-violence. And of all the things, it makes us value and cherish the freedom that we have today. As Mark Twain once said, India is the cradle of the human race. It's the birthplace of human speech, the mother of history, the grandmother of legend, and the great grandmother of tradition. Our most valued and most artistic materials in the history of man are treasured up in India only. As Indians, we have a lot to be proud of. From our first Olympic track and field gold medal at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics to our advancements in space research to our military capabilities, India is on track to become a superpower in the future. Every Independence Day, we not only celebrate our freedom, but we also pay tribute to the ones who fought for it. Our first thoughts turn to Mahatma Gandhi, the man behind our freedom struggle, and the martyrs who made the supreme sacrifice for our country's liberty. We are also reminded of the relentless struggle of our great patriots who fought hard to liberate our motherland from colonial rule. As Shashi Tharoor said, in India, we celebrate the commonality of major differences. We are a land of belonging rather than of blood.
75 years ago, at the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world slept, India awoke to life and freedom. It has been 3/4 of a century since India broke free from 200 years of British rule and became an independent nation. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh, we are a country that finds strength in our diversity. Lal Bahadur Shastri, an Indian freedom fighter and the second Prime Minister of our country, had this to say: "In this vast country of ours, people profess different religions, speak different languages, dress differently, and observe different customs. But we are one nation. The history of our struggle for independence and our faith in our future development are our common bonds." The double whammy of a global health crisis and an economic crisis that hit the backbone of our country, we have seen that how as a nation we have come together to help each other in this time of need. India will emerge stronger and more resilient, simply because of our citizens and our ability to invent, innovate, think, create, and collaborate with each other. Echoing the words of American philosopher Will Durant, it is true that even across the Himalayan barrier, India has sent to the West such gifts as grammar and logic, philosophy and fables, hypnotism and chess, and above all, numerals and the decimal system. It is our responsibility as proud citizens of our country to sincerely perform our duty and progress together for the growth and development of our country. Keeping the sacrifices of our ancestors in mind, we should take an oath to carve a better future for our motherland. Happy Independence Day. Jai Hind.
Students of class 3 are going to share what they've learned in history on India's freedom fighters. Class 3A will be presenting the national flag, Class 3B will be presenting the national anthem, and Class 3C the national song.
Freedom in the mind, faith in our words, and pride in our hearts. Let's salute the nation on the joyous occasion of our independence.
We should not forget the struggle for freedom and the sacrifices of our great freedom fighters. On Independence Day, we honor our pride, the national flag.
Our national flag, designed by Pingali Venkaya, is also called the tricolor or the Tiranga.
The tricolor was adopted as India's national flag on July 22, 1947. Saffron color on top signifies courage and sacrifice. White in the middle represents truth and peace. Green color signifies prosperity.
The Ashoka Chakra in the middle is navy blue in color with 24 spokes. It was adapted from the Ashoka pillar at Sarnath.
Our national flag symbolizes freedom, patriotism, and a sense of unity. We must respect and honor our national flag. Now we will recite a few lines on our national flag.
Three colors when we look up to the sky.
Three colors make us hold our head up high. Let's revere the flag that is our mark of unity. Our identity, integrity, our noble dignity.
Our national anthem Jana Gana Mana is the first 5 stanzas of a poem written by Rabindranath Tagore in Bengali.
It was first sung in the Calcutta session of the Indian National Congress on December 27, 1911.
Outside of Calcutta, the song was first sung by Rabindranath Tagore at a session in Besant Theosophical College in Madanapalli, Andhra Pradesh.
The song was selected as our national anthem by freedom fighter Subhash Chandra Bose. It reminds us of our nation's glory, beauty, and rich heritage.
It takes 52 seconds to sing the national anthem.
Class 3B will now sing a version consisting of the first and last lines of our anthem.
One of our most important national symbols is the national song Vande Mataram. The national song of India, Vande Mataram, was written by the great Bengali poet and writer Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. It was written in two languages, Sanskrit and Bengali, in the novel Anand Mat. The song was considered as the foundation of encouragement to the people in their struggle for freedom. The national song Vande Mataram was first sung by Rabindranath Tagore in the year 1896. It was sung in the first session of the Indian National Congress. It played a vital role in the Indian independence movement. It became a popular marching song for political activism and the Indian freedom movement in 1905. The first President of India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, came up with a declaration on the 24th January 1950. The song should be honored equally to the status of the national anthem. The title Vande Mataram means, Mother, I bow to thee. Vande power for India and our world is peace. Class 5 will render the song titled Peace on Earth.
Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as a mother, brothers all are we. Let me walk with my brother in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
Good morning, everyone. Today, Class 4 peeks into childhood stories of Mahatma Gandhi to present a play portraying his strength to overcome his weaknesses and grow into a bold and fearless patriot.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, children. Settle down. I have something very important to tell you all. Did you know that 15th August is our Independence Day? What is so special about this day? Can anyone tell me what it means?
Yes, ma'am. Our freedom fighters fought for the independence of our country from the British rule.
Right! The Indians wanted self-rule and not to be ruled by any foreign power. Our freedom fighters fought valiantly but ethically to obtain independence of our motherland. One such leader was Mahatma Gandhi.
But no one here knows who Mahatma Gandhi really is. He is the father of our nation. He is fondly called as Bapuji. Then why was the title of Mahatma bestowed upon him, ma'am? What is the meaning of Mahatma? I have heard that he was an ordinary boy like you and me. He got inspired from his life experiences. Hey, look at what I found in the library. It has childhood stories of Gandhiji. Let us all read it in turns.
Okay, let us read and do a role play for fun. What do you say, friends?
Oh, yes. Yes. Why not?
Yes,
That would be great.
Oh, yes, that's a brilliant idea. Let's get started.
The children read the short stories of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi and quickly settle down to do a role play on their own.
The name of the first story is The Dreaded Spelling Test. There was a boy called Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi who studied at the Alfred High School at Rajkot in Gujarat, India. The English class was in progress. Mr. Giles, the school inspector, enters Mohandas Karamchand's class. School authorities were nervous this morning as he had come for the observation of the running of the school. Spelling test was in progress. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, children. I will give you 5 words to write.
Sure, sir.
Write hobby, sound, dull, smile, and kettle.
Mohan was taken aback.
He knew the first 4 spellings but was not very sure of the 5th one. Mohan scratches his head. Perceiving his discomfort, the teacher tried to prompt him with the correct answer, but Mohan was honest. He did not pay any heed to that and wrote what he knew.
K-E-T-E-L, kettle.
The teacher makes a sign from behind so that he can copy from his neighbor's slate. After the inspector left, the teacher scolded him for not copying the word from the others.
Couldn't you copy the correct word from your neighbor's slate? I was trying to help you. Foolish boy. Disgusting.
Excellent, children. Well done. This story brings out Gandhiji's love for honesty and truthfulness. He was a person who stood for what was right, even at such a tender age. Are you ready for the second story? Yes! The name of the second story is Fear of Darkness.
In his childhood, young Gandhi was a very timid boy who was afraid of his own shadow. He feared to step in the darkness, even in his own house. He was afraid of ghosts, thieves, and snakes. Ramba worked as a maidservant in his house. That night was very dark. Mohan stood frozen at his doorway, afraid to enter his room. Ramba passed by and asked,
What's the matter, son?
I'm frightened, Di. I can see scary figures in the dark.
Frightened? Frightened of what?
See how dark it is. I'm afraid of ghosts. I see figures in the dark. They're behind the curtain, under the table.
Whoever heard of anyone being afraid of the dark? Listen to me. Think of Lord Rama, and no ghost will dare come near you. God will always protect you.
I will always remember that, Bhai, till the last breath of my life.
His faith gave Gandhiji strength throughout his life, and even when he died, the name of Ram was on his lips. The last words he uttered were, Hey Ram. Now you understand, children, why he is called a Mahatma. Mahan means great, and Atma means soul. He was a great soul. He helped Indians to get their freedom through ethical means. Satyagraha, Ahimsa, non-violence. Gandhiji was a simple boy like you all, but he overcame his weaknesses. Mahatma Gandhi held the reins and led Indians to independence. He once said, In a gentle way, you can shake the world. Let us all follow the path of honesty, integrity, and non-violence, and shake the world gently to make it a better place.
Thank you, ma'am.
The students of classes 4 and 5 present a dance titled Bharatiya Desiyam, a patriotic song composed by Bharatiyar. It describes his foresight of a prosperous India post the British rule.
பாரதமணி திருநாடு வந்தே மாதரம் வந்தே மாதரம் வந்தே மாதரம் வந்தே மாதரம் வந்தே மாதரம் வந்தே மாதரம் வந்தே மாதரம்
In the arduous fight for India's independence, our leaders fought courageously to free us from the shackles of the British rule. The behavior of the British was harsh and unpredictable. Not knowing if we would survive the next day, our freedom fighters did not lose hope. They lived in constant fear and anxious moments, similar to what we are facing with the COVID-19 pandemic. Every aspect of our lives has been disrupted, be it with education, families, healthcare, or employment. As Mahatma Gandhi once said, strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will. As a nation, we must rise above this adversity and find the strength to become more self-sufficient and ready to face the future.
These times give us a glimpse of how challenging and uncertain the journey of the freedom fight would have been. In both scenarios, the power of the destructive nature of our enemies left us quaking in our shoes. Currently, we are faced with lockdowns, the loss of jobs, the closing of schools, and other economic instabilities. Imagine the anguish and disruptions of the students' lives during the freedom struggle. There were no mobile phones, no computers, 4G or online classes. This is time to be grateful for the advances in communication and technology which has enabled the continuity of our education. Our teachers and students, like our freedom fighters, have adapted and learned to cope with the unforeseeable changes thrown at them. They have emerged triumphant.
After 74 years of independence, India is facing an equally distressing situation. Many lives were lost and families were scattered during the freedom struggle and the partition that followed. Everyone put their heart and soul into making the rehabilitation program a success. Like then, we need to look out for each other. Many families have lost their loved ones and children have been orphaned because of COVID-19. But we should not allow this situation to overwhelm us or accept defeat. Every citizen must rise above these trying times and work towards rebuilding our nation. Just like our resilient freedom fighters, we too must not lose hope but dedicate our efforts into building a better future for India.
Mahatma Gandhi famously said, "The future depends on what we do today." He faced difficult times during India's freedom struggle, but despite that, he focused his efforts on giving India a better future. Today, we too are facing a daunting future. We have to vaccinate over 1 billion people. We have to help people get their livelihoods back. We have to reopen schools to help children get a better education. Many Indians, like medical workers, doctors, and nurses, are stepping up to the challenge. Let's support them by wearing masks, washing our hands, and maintain social distancing. Let's take a pledge to do the right things now and build a better future, just like Gandhiji said.
Jai Hind.
O mighty King Raj Chola, you and your ancestors have developed our country and done so much for our people, the Chola dynasty. 15 years ago, in 1010 CE, you commissioned the magnificent Buddhaswara temple at Tanjavur, one of the largest in South India. It is truly a shining example of our traditional Tamil architecture, and we are so proud.
Thank you, my devoted people. But let's not rest on the achievements of our past. I want to see our country grow further. Let's make the most of our location by the sea and strengthen the naval empire that we have built. We can dominate the Indian Ocean. Let's plan maritime expedition to expand control beyond our borders and to gain control over the Maldives, Sri Lanka, and even as far as the Malaysia and Indonesia in the future.
Certainly, Almighty, your wish is our command. We will focus in our infrastructure. Guide us. We are focused in our production of silk, cotton, and steel. Continue to improve our irrigation and our agricultural output for our country. Oh hey, King Raja Raja! Thank you, my lord.
My dear Queen Jodhabai, do you know of the latest military prowess of our Mughal Empire? We have made innovation in cannons, fortification and the use of elephants. We are world-class leaders in firearms.
My dear Emperor Akbar, it is no wonder that our grand Mughal empire is known as the Gunpowder Empire. We have conquered North India, Central India, Rajputana, Gujarat and Bengal.
Indeed, and we continue to build our image being world leaders in critical industries like textiles, shipbuilding and steel. Explorers across the world come to India for goods such as spices, peppers, indigo, silks.
Agreed, Emperor Akbar, but tell me, what is your vision for this country and its people?
My dear Queen, nothing means more to me than uniting and bringing both Hindus and Muslims together as one nation.
All hail our beloved Emperor Akbar. He is a true visionary for this country.
Good afternoon, Clyde.
Good afternoon, Governor General Hastings. How was your game of cricket today?
It was excellent. Thank you.
My dear Governor, have you seen the progress India has been making on the front?
My dear Clive, we need a serious discussion on this. Shall we get started? But not without our favorite cup of tea. Butler, get me some chai, please. Darjeeling chai.
Thank you, Hastings. Do note that the other colonial powers, especially the Portuguese, have gained a stronghold in India. They have established ports in western India to control maritime trade, and they are so powerful that even the mighty Mughal Emperor Akbar has to ask for permission to send the ships to Mecca for Hajj and for trading. We need to increase British presence.
Yes, Robert. We Britishers need to develop this country and establish the East India Company permanently. Let's create systems for the people of India like the civil service or the justice system, education, post and telegraph, railways, canals and irrigation.
But let us not forget our ultimate goal. We must generate revenue for Great Britain and extract all we can from this rich and fertile country.
Agreed, without a doubt. But how can we go achieving a task like this with a country this size without protest from the Indian people? I think I've got it. By George, I've got it. The key is divide and rule. Divide the Indians by their religions, Hindus and Muslims, and then let Great Britain rule.
This skit is about how we got our independence.
Unity in diversity is India's strength. When looking through your eyes, we are different. When looking through your heart, we are the same.
Vande Mataram.
Jai Hind.
The British landed in the Indian subcontinent on August 24, 1608. They have come to India to procure profitable resources. The British East India Company came to India as traders in spices, a very important commodity in Europe back then.
They also traded in silk, cotton, indigo dye, tea, and opium. Now, let the show begin.
The Indians are doing their work in peace, laughing and talking. Meanwhile, the British have arrived on their horses and have brought items to trade with the Indians. The British army was led by Captain Robert Clive.
Hello, Indians. We would love to trade with you. Why don't you give us the spices?
The Indians agreed to what the British say and trade with them some of the goods. Everyone was happy. But soon, the British started interfering in local situations and started to treat the Indians very badly.
India has a lot of resources. So instead of just staying with them, why don't we make India colony of Britain?
But what if they fight us?
Oh my God. The country is divided into many small independent kingdoms. So it makes it a lot easier to conquer them one state at a time.
The plan was made. One by one, the British took over the kingdoms of India until the very last one. They made everyone submit to the British rule. The Indians would work, pay taxes, and would hardly get a chance to eat. The Indian flag was soon replaced with the British flag.
Family of four were working to build houses for the British. The fathers working, the mothers in tears as the children are starving. Two of the Britons walked past his family.
We heard that you are indulging in acts of treason against the British.
It is a fight for our freedom.
Shoot him!
No!
This should be a lesson for all of you. Do not try to rise above the British.
The British soldiers are shouting at a man.
What's wrong with you? You're supposed to pay our taxes.
Sorry, sir.
So now you come back? Go away from here. Just go.
The onlookers watched were terrified. Their courage was shattered. All they could do was surrender.
A few years passed and no one could stand up to the British and were slaves until...
How dare you! Guards, shoot him!
Stop, please. We will not be slaves anymore.
Ha! If you don't work, then you won't get food or shelter or anything for that matter.
Then let it be. We shall starve. We will remain here and will not cooperate.
All the Indians come together and become a united country.
The British soldier goes to the captain of the British army to complain.
Captain, the slaves are revolting. There's a man with a white dhoti. He's the leader.
Very well, I shall see to it then.
The captain walks up to Gandhiji.
Stop this at once. If you don't, we shall kill you.
Please go ahead. Yet I will not move.
Captain, getting frustrated, slaps Gandhiji on his cheek.
If that gave you happiness, please, you can hit my other cheek as well.
And the captain? Well, he was confused.
This continued almost every day. Gandhiji and his followers went on the Dandi March to protest the tax on salt.
He launched the Quit India movement and the non-cooperation movement to defy the British.
Finally, on 15th of August 1947, at the stroke of the midnight hour, India became a free nation.
It is through the sacrifice of our freedom fighters that India is a free country today. It is our duty as citizens of this country to preserve this legacy.
Jai Hind!
Jai Hind!
Jai Hind!
Jai Hind!
हम भारत के बच्चे हैं, बस आगे बढ़ते जाएंगे। हम भारत के बच्चे हैं, बस आगे बढ़ते जाएंगे। आए 100 तूफान सामने, रोक न हमको पाएंगे। हमें न समझो नन्हे मुन्ने, हम साहस के पुतले हैं। दिल के हैं मजबूत बड़े हम, तन के लगते दुबले हैं। जो हमसे टक्कर लेगा, हम उसको सबक सिखाएंगे। हमें न समझो छोटे हम हैं, काम बड़े करने वाले। हमें न समझो यूं ही हम हैं, भारत माता की आशा। सब कुछ न्योछावर कर माँ की, पूर्ण करेंगे अभिलाषा। हम भारत के बच्चे हैं, बस आगे बढ़ते जाएंगे। आए 100 तूफान सामने, रोक न हमको पाएंगे।
जय हिंद।
In its 74 years of independence, India has several achievements in its credit. It has built a modern economy, remained a democracy, lifted millions out of poverty, has become a spare and nuclear power, and developed a robust foreign policy. Today, we the students of class 7 share some of our country's achievements in various fields. Hope you enjoy watching it. Thank you.
The Indian Space Research Organization, also known as ISRO, is an organization dedicated to space research that focuses on developing the knowledge of space and space technology for the growth of the nation. 1969 was the year in which ISRO was founded, and over the years, it has become one of the 6th largest space agencies in the world. Astronomer Vikram Sarabhai was the visionary behind the organization and is regarded as the father of the Indian space program. Complex missions like Chandrayaan-1, Chandrayaan-2 and the Mars Orbiter mission were carried out by ISRO with the support of able scientists and other scholars, wishing ISRO to come out with flying colors in all their upcoming missions and make our nation's flag fly high. Jai Hind!
Indian astronomy has a long history stretching from prehistory to modern time. Some of its earliest roots can be found in the period of the Indus Valley Civilization. It later flourished in the 5th and 6th century with Aryabhatta. Today, India has an expanded space program and it continues exploring new avenues in space research. Thank you.
We see people collecting tamarind every day, but do we remember that one of our very world-recognized scientists, Padma Vibhushan, and Bharat Ratna Awards holder got his inspiration from collecting tamarinds? Yes, that's right. It's none other than our own famous Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Now, sometimes we wonder, why was he called the Missile Man? Before the first rocket launch in 1974, India had no transportation to take the rockets from one launch pad to another. They had to build the rocket right on the launch pad. But during Kalam's time, he created something called a launch vehicle technology which could enable vehicle transportation of the rocket. In the field of missiles, India has launched a huge rocket in the hearts of people. One more extravagant scenario to look at would be the development of the ballistic missile. This missile was the first fully computer-controlled missile from its launch site to a predetermined target. So, concluding with this, hope India succeeds each time with flying colors.
Mangalyaan is a space probe that ISRO launched on the 5th of November 2013. It was India's first interplanetary mission and made India the first Asian country and the 4th country in the world to reach Mars orbit, and that too on its maiden attempt. It also is the world's most inexpensive Mars mission, costing only rupees 450 crores, and it weighs 1,337 kilograms. It reached Mars orbit on the 24th September of 2014. It was launched at the Satish Dhawan Space Center in Andhra Pradesh. This probe put India on the map with a league of other developed nations, namely Russia, Europe and USA. Thank you.
Nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is an integral component of the country's energy mix. Nuclear energy is a clean, environment-friendly source of power which is available 24/7. It has a huge potential which will ensure long-term energy security of the country in a sustainable manner. Kudukkalam Nuclear Power Plant in Tamil Nadu is the largest plant in India. India's three-stage nuclear power program was formulated by Homi Bhabha and Jawaharlal Nehru in the 1950s to secure the country's long-term independence. At present, we have 22 nuclear reactors in the country and 8 reactors under construction. Nuclear power is the 5th largest source of electricity in India after coal, gas, hydroelectricity and wind power. India stands at the 13th place worldwide in generating electricity from nuclear source. Thank you.
India has made great contribution to the field of medicine. The oldest medical treatment of Ayurveda originated in India. Also is known as science longevity. Ayurveda is an ancient and traditional form of medicine that is not only prevalent today but incredibly well reputed and successful as well. Siddha Sen came up with their own solution in 5 BC. The Siddha medicines. Rich and simple, the Siddha medicines were made from a combination of everyday spices and fruits, while also using certain metals, minerals, and chemical products for the same.
First COVID case in India was reported on 30th January 2020. Since then, our Indian scientists have been working tirelessly to manufacture an effective vaccine to help our country fight against this pandemic. Did you know that India is regarded as the vaccine manufacturing hub of the world? Did you know that India is capable of manufacturing over 3 billion vaccines annually? The best part is that India donated over 60% of the vaccine to poor countries which cannot afford expensive vaccines. There are 2 common vaccines in India, Covaxin and Covishield. Covaxin is manufactured by the Bharat Biotech and Covishield by the Serum Institute of India. Hats off and a big thank you to all the doctors and frontline workers who took care of the grim situation and risked their own lives to save us. Happy Independence Day, everyone!
Industrial development is important for social, economic and human growth of a country. India since olden times has household industries. Before the beginning of modern industry, Indian pottery, muslin and silk goods were much in demand. In India, modern industries started with the establishment of the cotton textile in Bombay. The jute industry started next. The rail transport began from Bombay to Thane. The country's first paper mill started in Kolkata and steel in Jamshedpur. Today, India is the top 10 industrial nations of the world.
Today, sports has emerged as an important component of social economic growth of a country. Sports in India refers to a large variety of games played, ranging from tribal games to more mainstream sports such as cricket, football, badminton and kabaddi. Kabaddi is an ancient sport and the fastest growing sport of India. Cricket is the most popular sport in India, the country having hosted the World Cup and won it in the past. Players like Sunil Gavaskar, Kapil Dev, Sachin Tendulkar and Virat Kohli have done us proud.
Vishwanathan Anand is an Indian chess grandmaster and former world champion. Sania Mirza, Ramanathan Krishnan have done us proud in the field of tennis. Prakash Padukone, PV Sindhu and Saina Nehwal have brought laurels to us in the field of badminton. Overall, sports also teaches us skills like leadership, teamwork, patience, spirit of competition and determination of success. Sports has taken our country to greater heights and every sportsperson has added on to it and made our country proud. Thank you.
India is a global agricultural powerhouse. It is the world's largest producer of milk, pulses, and spices and has the world's largest cattle population, as well as the largest area under cultivation for wheat, rice, and cotton in the world. Agriculture is the livelihood for about 58% of India's population. A green revolution was started in the 1960s to increase food production and feed millions of people throughout the country. Agriculture in India was converted into an industrial system with the adoption of modern methods and technology. Today, India is among the top 3 global producers of many crops like rice, wheat, cotton, etc. We also have one of the fastest growing poultry industries in the world.
Our nation is celebrating the achievements of the Indian athletes who showed stellar performances at the Summer Olympics in Tokyo, Japan. They have come back home victorious by breaking records with 7 medals to our name: 1 gold, 2 silver, and 4 bronze. Our nation sent its largest ever contingent of 124 competitors to the 2020 Games. India has bagged 7 medals, which is the highest tally of the medals our country has ever won. In the men's javelin throw, Neeraj Chopra won India's first ever gold medal since 2008. PV Sindhu won a bronze in women's badminton to become the first Indian female athlete and second Indian to win 2 consecutive Olympic medals for individual events. Every Olympic event aims to encourage and inspire young people to take up a sport, which helps building positive self-esteem in children.
Indian dishes are super popular all over the world. Nothing reveals the diversity of Indian culture better than our very own food. The Indian food industry is poised for huge growth, increasing its contribution to world food trade every year. In India, the food sector has emerged as a high growth and high profit sector due to its great potential for value addition, particularly within the food processing industry.
The Cooperative Dairy Movement of India. Amul is an Indian dairy based at Anand in the state of Gujarat. It is a cooperative brand managed by the Gujarat Milk Marketing Federation Limited, which today is jointly owned by over 36 lakh milk producers in Gujarat, spread across 13,000 villages of the state. Amul spurred India's white revolution, which made the country the world's largest producer of milk and dairy products. It was founded by Dr. Verghese Kudin with the help of Tribhuvan Das Patel and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and it remains a mark of respect and admiration for people all across the globe. The products of Amul make people's mouths water and lips smack.
Coffee. For coffee lovers, the aroma of fresh ground coffee is irresistible. Coffee has been around in India since the mid-1600s. A coffee bean is actually a seed. When dried, roasted and ground, it is used to brew coffee. Do you know how coffee came to India? Legend has it that an Indian hermit named Baba Buddan brought coffee beans from Yemen and planted them in Chandragiri, which is a hilly region of Karnataka. India is now within the top 10 coffee producing countries of the world. Coffee is also famous in Kumbakonam, a region in Tamil Nadu, and is prepared in a very different way there. The Kumbakonam filter coffee is relished by people all over the world. Some interesting facts about coffee. Around 234,000 metric tons of coffee is produced in our country every year. Coffee is grown mostly in the southern states of Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu, and also in the northeastern regions of the country. The main varieties of coffee grown in India are Arabica and Robusta. Of the total coffee produced in India, 75% is exported to European countries.
Tea. Tea is a drink that is very popular all over the world. It is made by soaking the dried leaves or flowers of the plant Camellia sinensis in hot water. Tea can have other herbs, spices, or fruit flavors in it, like lemon. All teas are made from the Camellia sinensis plant. It is also believed that tea was brought to India by the silk caravans that traveled from China to Europe centuries ago. India has contributed to the development of tea in a large way due to the world-famous tea plantations in Sikkim, Gangtok, and the eastern regions of India. In fact, the tea in these regions are world-famous and has its own flavor, which is relished by tourists and visitors.
Namaste, Namaskara, Sat Sri Akala, Salam Alaikum. Namaste. The Indian classical and folk dances have established themselves in the Western countries and are practiced there with great fervor.
Classical dances are very famous in India. There are many types of classical dances, such as Bharatanatyam, Kathak, and many more.
Folk dances in India represent the culture and tradition of the community and is performed during celebrations.
Ayurvedas recorded more than 5,000 years ago.
It is also known as the significance of life, and some examples are turmeric,
ginger,
and ajwain. In India, gold and silver are considered auspicious. Jewelries like meenakari, lak, and kundan are also popular.
The different types of jewelry include anklets, bracelets, finger rings, toe rings and nose rings, ankles and waistbands.
Kalamkari is made in Andhra Pradesh and it is a hand-painted cotton. Pashmina is originated in Kashmir and made of goat's wool. Bandhani is made in Gujarat and Rajasthan. It is tie-dyed.
Mysore silk, made in Mysore, Karnataka, made up of mulberry silk thread. Kanchipuram silk, made of
वतन वतन मेरे आबाद रहे तू, वतन वतन मेरे आबाद रहे तू, मैं जहाँ रहूँ जहाँ में याद रहे तू, मैं जहाँ रहूँ जहाँ में याद रहे तू, ऐ वतन मेरे वतन, चाहो तो हमको आसमाना, यारबाज हम जानसाज हम इश्कबाज दिल वाले, कहते हैं हमको प्यार से इंडिया वाले, छू लेते दिल के तार से इंडिया वाले, हर जीत जीत ले हार से इंडिया वाले, दुश्मन के छक्के छुड़ा दे हम इंडिया वाले, दुश्मन के छक्के छुड़ा दे हम इंडिया वाले। थोड़ी सी धूल मेरी धरती की मेरे वतन की, थोड़ी सी धूल मेरी धरती की मेरे वतन की, थोड़ी सी खुशबू बाराई से मस्त पवन की, थोड़ी सी धोखने वाली धक 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 सांसें, जिनमें हो जुनू जुनू वो बूंदे लाल लहू की।
Hey guys, it's been so long since we've spoken.
I know, right?
How have you guys been spending your free time?
Not much. I think I've lost track of what day of the week it is because of quarantine.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Is it Independence Day tomorrow? What fun it would have been to be a part of Independence Day at school.
Yeah, I'm so excited to watch the parade, but I will miss our school's flag hoisting.
Yeah, same here. We could have enjoyed our school's flag hoisting if the pandemic didn't descend upon us like a curse. Corona has dealt a blow to everything.
Amrita has joined the call. Hey Amrita.
Hi guys, happy Independence Day in advance.
Same to you.
My cousin Zai is here to see us. She's from the USA. Mind if she joins the call?
Of course.
Hey guys, you must be Amrita's friends.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Why don't you tell us a bit about yourself?
I agree. My first question to Zai. Which school do you study in and where do you live in?
I live in California and I study at Stanford University.
Wow, isn't that school really hard to get into?
Yeah, it's pretty famous. Okay, so my first question to you guys is who is your idol?
Sarojini Naidu.
Mahatma Gandhi ji.
Jawaharlal Nehru.
Bhagat Singh.
Whoa, I thought you guys would say like Virat Kohli or like MS Dhoni or something. You know, more famous Indian personalities. Who are these people?
These are the people who got India freedom from the British.
Nice. Wait, when did Indians celebrate Independence Day, by the way?
We celebrated on August 15th, which is tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Wait, and do you guys have to go to school on that day?
Attendance is compulsory, even if the day falls on a Sunday.
But you don't seem to be very sad about the prospect of going to school on a Sunday.
Of course not. We're proud to go to school to hoist the bright colors of the Indian tricolor flag.
Yes, our forefathers worked hard to get us freedom from the British after 3 centuries. Independence Day is quite special for all Indians, although we are sad to be missing our school's flag hoisting this year due to the pandemic.
Your patriotism is admirable. Please tell me more about your struggle to get independence. It's both fascinating and intriguing.
Okay, so the British first came to India as traders, but slowly gained complete control over our kings.
What? How'd they do that?
Well, the rulers back in those days kept fighting amongst each other, and the British took advantage of their rivalry.
Wasn't any king like brave enough or smart enough to overthrow the British?
There were a few rulers like Tipu Sultan and Veer Pandya Kattabomman who did try, but just when it seemed that they would succeed in this mission, they would be either betrayed by a treacherous general or had to surrender to the superior British Empire.
Okay, so how did you get freedom in the end then?
Mahatma Gandhiji's struggle got us independence. He believed in ahimsa or non-violence. If he wanted something done, he wouldn't use weapons. He would use non-violent methods like protest or breaking British laws, like the Salt Laws. That is why he was also known as the father of our nation. So this created a big sense of patriotism in the hearts of the common people, and they soon joined his non-violent movement. Eventually, the mighty British army yielded to Gandhi's methods and granted us independence.
That's fascinating. But wait, what did the protests do? What did the people do in the protests?
Let me share you a small clip showing how the people followed these non-violent methods.
To your mark, forward! Last night at midnight, they took Gandhiji from us. They expect us to lose heart or to fight back. We will do neither. On you go!
No, sir. The gate is closed.
They walked, both Hindu and Muslim alike, with heads held high, without any hope of escape.
Wow, what determination. Thank you guys so much for explaining your incredible history to me.
It was our pleasure.
Jai Hind.
Happy Independence Day.
Bye.
Yoga is a physical, mental, and spiritual practice that originated in ancient India. Today, on Independence Day, we, the students of Class 5, would like to honor this revered practice by performing asanas that belong to the Ashtanga style of yoga.
Happy Independence Day. I, Prashansa Rathod, would like to dedicate a few lines of original poetry titled The Hour of Destiny to our country. Thank you. O nation colored in three, lifted in summer monsoon and wave, your banner has withstood the bonded and free, your land home to those that time did brave. You have held empires too soon gone, that saw past promises and tomorrows. Now their glories are marked in stone, but they left us only pride and scarce sorrows. Now ending what guns begin, we built another empire, new but incomplete, to piece together birth, money, skin, and pay heed to each god's holy feet. And suddenly, from parched lands and throats, came a song in lovely treble. It reached farmers and those rowing boats. Our national hymn unites, and 'tis no fable. We are the young, and the young defy. We who work at this hour of destiny, while the others sleep, we awake and fly. And so our country is one, as we are many. Thank you.
Happy Independence Day, everyone. A very warm welcome to the special program for youngsters of the country. Patriotism. We must have learned this word in history. But have we ever thought as to what made this word come into being? Many ask, why should one be patriotic? Why should one respect his or her nation? Well, India, a rainbow of life. It is always a step ahead to bring you up. The lasting legacy it has got to the rich culture we follow. Have we ever realized that our basic necessities cannot be filled without our country? From fuel to foreign trade, everything is brought to us by the authorities. They safeguard and protect us through the police, who sacrifice so much that can never be thanked enough. And the least to be mentioned, the Indian Armed Forces. Navy, Air Force, the Indian Army. They put their lives at stake for safety of Indians. The chaotic and miserable life of a soldier.
Siachen. This word actually means flowers in abundance, but in reality, it is not flowers but snow that is found in abundance here. It is located in the Karakoram range near the Indo-Pakistan border. The temperature dips to below minus 57 degrees Celsius in the winter season, loaded with avalanches, but these hurdles did not stop the Indian Army to spread its wing and placing the Indian flag on top of the mountains. Life here is extremely challenging, where eggs need to be broken with a hammer. Let's have a look at it.
Freezing Kashmir or the deserts of Thar, they are always on the go. Something that you must have learned again in history. The freedom struggle. 200 years of being under an authority. Long years of oppression, insult, hierarchy. Restless struggle for decades. Father, mothers, husbands, wives, brothers and sisters lost, and many maimed. Placing any of us in that place is something heartbreaking, isn't it? Think of what would have gone through.
We as a nation have begun our journey from pieces. Everything was shattered when the British left. It is only with our efforts that we built this empire. Gone are the days when hardly few knew a country named India. We have grown to be the largest producer of milk in the world, from the country which died of famines to the country witnessing the largest agricultural revolution. The developments of ISRO through the years is impeccable. Be it science, technology or agriculture, India has proven its mark. Last but not the least, Punjab is in the Gujarat, Maratha, Dravida, Utkal, Banga. 28 states, 8 union territories, different cultures, different cuisines, different beliefs. Yet, the same spirit ignites in all our hearts. the most diverse country, defining brotherhood, redefining unity in diversity. From the magnificent mountains to the beaches, from jaw-dropping stone caves to architecture, from nature's blissful waterfalls to royal palaces, India has a world in itself. The question that arises now is that, although we understand the importance of patriotism, how do we reflect it? As citizens, the little bit we do for our country makes all the difference.
By following the constitution, paying taxes on time, respecting women to make our country a safer place to live in, and most importantly, as youngsters, it is extremely important for us to use our rights to vote properly. A single vote can change millions of lives. But the tiny acts like throwing the trash in the dustbins to keep the surroundings clean, helping the authorities to carry out their tasks smoothly. Do note this, patriotism is not a vigorous burst of emotions, but a tranquil of steady dedication. A very happy Independence Day again.